Hey guys! Oh man, I am so sorry that this video has been late. I've been promising this video and planning this video for so long. I just got busy and blah blah blah. I did want to mention my eyes. Can you see my eyes? They're so bloodshot red. We're actually pretty close to the fires that have been happening in San Diego, and the smoke is just starting to come in and it's like burning my eyeballs. They're so dry. So if I'm blinking a lot, then that's why, because I also wear contacts. So I'm ready to talk about my breastfeeding update. I'm really excited to tell you guys, my experience with it, how it's been, what I would do differently next time. If you don't know, I exclusively breastfed Oliver until he was 6 months old. It was a good experience. I really enjoyed it. I will say though that my overall experience was that I felt kind of gypped in a way. Like I didn't feel like I got the full experience. And the reason why was because Oliver has been, since day one, the quickest, most efficient, which is like the wording that most people use, is he's an efficient eater, meaning that he's really quick, he gets the job done, and then he's done. He's never been like one of those comfort nursers that just want to like eat and that's it, and like he never really used me much as a pacifier, maybe every once in a while, but it was very rare when he did. For the most part, he would just eat and then he'd be done, and I would be like, are you sure you're done? But the only thing that I could really do was trust him by looking at his his demeanor, how his attitude is, and for the most part he was always a really happy baby. He was healthy, he was gaining, and I just kind of had to trust him and trust my instincts. My own personal feeling was like, okay, are you sure you're done? You only ate for like 10 minutes. Are you sure that's good enough? It was really difficult. As a breastfeeding mom, I always wanted to know exactly how much he was eating, which is kind of the benefit of feeding your baby a bottle or anything, is because you know exactly how much they have taken. Really, when you breastfeed, you just have to kind of trust. You have to trust your body, you have to trust him. He's always been one of those big, chunky, cute little babies, and he's always been a happy baby, and so I knew he was getting enough, even if I didn't feel like he was. When that 6 months started to come up, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to start solids soon, and I really just don't feel like nursing has been the most amazing experience. I've enjoyed it and I do it and I love it, but it hasn't been like this huge bonding experience. I feel like we bonded in other ways. I was kind of bummed to start the whole solids thing. Like, I just didn't want him to enjoy eating more than he enjoyed nursing, because I already felt like he kind of could do without it, kind of thing. I was like, ugh, I really didn't want to do it. But of course I started solids, and I started really slow. I kind of gradually done it, and I have gone through times where I've given him more food than maybe I was supposed to, and then I've kind of lessened his solid intake and upped the breastfeeding, just to make sure that breastfeeding was always staying at a good amount that he was eating. But what happened was, when he turned 6 months and he started eating solids, a lot of things changed in our breastfeeding experience. Number one is that he became a lot more scheduled with breastfeeding. Of course, he was exclusively breastfed before 6 months, but it was just like all the time, random, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes here or there. Now that he was on solids, and even now that he is on solids, he's a lot more scheduled. I know when he's gonna eat. I know how many times a day he eats. I know how many times at night he eats. Actually made our breastfeeding experience a little bit more enjoyable, knowing exactly how long and how much he's gonna eat. About maybe a month ago, he's just now started to really show his love for nursing, which has been huge. I've really enjoyed nursing. I would definitely do it again. I would never not nurse. I have it pretty easy in a way that I've never had any issues with milk supply. I've always had way more than I really need. I still leak to this day. I still have to wear breast pads and everything to keep from leaking through my shirt, because I always have more than enough. And to be honest, I don't even pump anymore. I used to pump, and at around 5-6 months, I just stopped. I was like, ugh, forget this. I was kind of tired of using the bottle, because then I would feel like he liked the bottle more, and then he was having a hard time actually nursing again. So I was like, get rid of the bottle. I'm with him all the time. Just forget it, And really, I've always had a great supply. He's always been a good nurser. Never had cracked nipples. For the most part, it's been a great experience. I just feel like I didn't get that full nursing comfort relationship with him. I never felt like he really wanted to just nurse and just enjoy sitting with me. When he hit 9 months, I feel like a big turn happened, and all of a sudden he started to realize that mom is food in a way, and she's comfort, and you know, he's actually been really taking his time just a little bit more. I did feel a little bit gypped in the whole experience, and so now, you know, he's definitely starting to like tug at my shirt a little bit, like he knows where the food is. He kind of puts his like his face, he'll put it on my chest and he'll kind of like blow or like try and suck, and so I'm really starting to think that he like gets it now. He completely got rid of the nursing in public things. If I'm anywhere but like sitting in my rocking chair in his room, lights dim, music on, like it has to be the perfect setting. But ever since he turned, you know, 9 months or so, he's been a little bit more open to nursing in public, nursing in different areas. And I don't even mean in public, I just mean, you know, anywhere but here. He's more willing to sit in the living room and nurse, or sit outside and nurse, or even the other day I was able to nurse sitting on a floaty in the pool, and it was such a cool experience. Like we just kind of sat and on the pool floaty, and he nursed for quite a while, and it was a really cool experience. And it was something like, I was just like, wow, you know, I feel like I really missed out on. For the most part, I mean, breastfeeding has been just such an awesome experience. I definitely, you know, recommend it to moms who are able to. If you want to, read up on it, see if it's something that you can make happen. It's been a very amazing experience for me, and I definitely plan to nurse again. I am coming up on 1 year. My you know, goal was to at least reach 1 year of nursing, and I think that we're definitely going to hit that with no problem. But the big question is, after that, what am I doing? You know, there's this surgery that's coming up. If I want to have more babies, I have to have a surgery, and in order to have that surgery, I'm supposed to not be nursing. Kind of a really tough subject for me to talk about, because I definitely don't want to wean, because I don't feel like I really got that full experience in the beginning. I'm like, gosh, she's just starting to get into it, and now I'm gonna have to, in, you know, 3-4 months, just tell them like, all right, we're done, you know. And I don't really want to do that. I want to encourage nursing, you know, as long as me and him are both happy with it. At this point, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I'm going to put off the surgery a little bit longer, or if I'm going to end up weaning him, or if he'll end up weaning himself, or, you know, start incorporating other types of milk, you know, stuff like that. I'm gonna try and enjoy every minute, every second, because I have no idea when it's gonna end. Who knows, you know, it could be at a year he just decides he's done, and maybe I'll need to wean. But I'm enjoying it to its fullest. I'm loving that he's really starting to get into comfort nursing and just wanting to sit with me and nurse, and it's just been really amazing. Okay, so I actually asked you guys for questions on breastfeeding that I thought I could maybe answer for you guys, and so I'm gonna go ahead and answer some right now. So first question comes from Sarah Henson, and she said, did you ever leak really bad? My son's 5 weeks old, and I swear when I wake up because he's crying, I'm waking up in a massive puddle of milk. Yes, I leaked terribly bad, and I still do every once in a while. I've woken up to puddles on my bed, on my mattress. If Oliver gets my letdown going and then he releases, I squirt everything that is possibly in AIM. It's terrible. And you know, it just kind of comes along with it. I wear breast pads all the time, night and day, doesn't matter. I got to have a breast pad on. Our next question comes from Hannah Sheeran, and she asked, how did you change your tactic with his teeth when his teeth came in to avoid biting, or at least reduce the chances / pain of it? This was a big question I got, and this was a huge worry for mine. I literally feared the day that his first tooth would come in, and then he would start biting me, and I would start bleeding, and it would be terrible. But to be honest, it wasn't as bad as I thought. He has bit me a couple times, and there's not really much that I can do to limit the chances or try and make it, you know, not possible. You just kind of gotta like hope and pray that he doesn't bite. And when he did bite, I just would take him off and I'd say, no bite. And then I would put him back on, and I would sit there and I'd be so scared that he would do it again. And you know, eventually he just kind of learned. I don't know if maybe he just kind of figured out that obviously that's not the way to get milk out. When they bite, he's not going to get milk. I kind of know when he is going to get ready to bite me because he's either done nursing, he's frustrated. I kind of picked up on the cues when I know he's, you know, if he doesn't want to nurse, he might just chomp down and bite, and it's not fun, but it just kind of happens. The pain of leading up to it is probably more painful than the actual pain of the bite. I hate when this happens, when the thought leaves my mind. Sorry. Alright, next question comes from April Showers and Mayflowers. Cute name. She said, any tips for first-time moms on breastfeeding? Did you transition easily once you had Oliver sleeping in his room, or would you have co-slept longer? Well, for first-time moms, I just want to say, you know, I want to encourage you to try. And if you can breastfeed, you look into it, see if it's something that you're willing to do. Obviously, formula feeding your baby is perfectly fine. Your baby is going to be totally perfect with formula, but I do believe that breastfeeding is not only just a great experience for you, it's great for baby, and it's overall just, it's fun, you know. And I know that there's a lot of difficulties that a lot of women have, and you know, I definitely didn't get all those, but I still want to encourage you to try if possible. Transitioning Oliver to his crib was actually totally fine. We did it around 5.5, 6 months. I had to get up a couple times a night and walk in his room. At that point, it wasn't every 2 hours, it was every 3-4 hours, and I was perfectly okay with it. Overall, it actually helped his sleeping because, you know, during the time that I was awake, it was difficult for us to make sure that we're not making too much noise, and so it really was a good transition for us. Our next question comes from Crazy Cool Shorty, and she said, when you have a second baby, what things would you do differently when it comes to breastfeeding? It's hard to answer that because every child is different, and Oliver had his own experience, and I wish I could have, you know, encouraged him to breastfeed more in different areas, in different places, and I wish I could have encouraged him to nurse longer. With this next baby, it just kind of totally depends on their personality and, you know, how they want to take on the whole breastfeeding experience. Alright guys, that is all I've got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this breastfeeding update. Give this video a thumbs up if you are pro breastfeeding. It's an awesome experience. I don't want any mom to ever feel like, you know, that someone looks down on you if you couldn't or weren't able to. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! Hey guys, and welcome to the behind the scenes of my 2014 Mother's Day video called I Am a Mother. I'm really excited about this video, and I thought we're going to be putting a lot of work into this. It's going to kind of be a really cool creation of what we're doing. So I thought, you know, why not just do a behind the scenes and show you guys what went into making this video. First, it started out with